Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode, we fought and dealt with the voices of Narat. He is now dead. So we have one Archon under our control, 2 dead, 1 left to deal with. And that's Graven Ashe. Time for us to go see if we can get him to kneel. It'll be tricky, and probably unlucky, but we'll see what happens. Also, before I do... cannot begin until Jason Pendragon earns experience. Really? Okay. Well, let's go to Ironhearth. This is going to be quite a thing here. Right. Up this way. This is actually a new recording session, and it may be the last recording session. I mean, I'm going to record until I'm done. It may be a couple episodes, but... still, I'll give my opinion soon. Alright.
I see no fresh blood on your armor, but I sense that something has happened. Where once many congregated, there is now an absence. That can mean only one thing. The voices of Narat is no more. Can this be true?
Before he can go on, Ashe's shoulders tremble and he clutches one arm to repress the shaking. He squeezes his eyes shut, only opening them once again once his composure is restored. Are you well, Archon?
Well enough, damn you! Oh. Forgive me, Fatebinder.
His eyes widen as he realizes the magnitude of his outburst. He drags his hand across his mouth to clean away a line of spittle.
Suffice to say, this war has taken its toll on me, as have all the battles of centuries past. I have lost more friends and countrymen than any sane general could be expected to endure.
His grimace falls as he lacks the strength to maintain it.
I take each death personally, you understand. Down to the rank and file of my stone shields, the harm inflicted upon my northern sons and daughters. At times it seems visited upon me as well. But never mind an old man's ruminations. You have a report to make, and I am anxious to hear it.
He makes an effort to stand tall, but you know it's a facade that cloaks his waning strength. His eyes twitch as he recognizes your scrutiny. As well as you know anything, one fact is clear. Ashe is in pain. I destroyed the Archon of Secrets.
At last, the Scarlet Chorus are undone. We can properly conduct this war and subjugate the Tears as Kairos intended. That I can see this day, while the voices of Narat grows cold. He would never forget this indignity.
Will someone claim the Archon's vacant title?
In time, yes. No doubt they will have to be as treacherous as he was, though I cannot imagine their power will resemble his. For all his multitudes, the voices of Narat was a singular being. Nothing like him has ever existed, or likely will again.
And how do you plan to do that?
Considering how much you've managed to subdue the disorder of the Tears, finalizing our conquest in Kairos' name should be little more than tidying up pockets of discontent. We could have the entire realm subdued under the laws and customs we hold dear within the next span.
We still have to settle the matter of Kairos' decree. Only one Archon may rule the Tears.
Yes. I thought we would come to this. I had hoped to avoid the confrontation. Your service to my army has been exemplary, and I hate to lose a friend on the eve of victory. I knew you as Tunon's pupil. But now you are an Archon, and so much more. I would see you continue in your service to Kairos, but as my ally rather than my enemy. Bow in allegiance to me, and Kairos will be appeased. We can govern this lawless land together, and invite the savages into civilized custom.
I haven't come this far to bend the knee.
I was afraid this would be your temperament, and it saddens me. Power should have humbled you, but it has made you vain. What do you propose, then? Will we fight to the death needlessly, or will you reconsider my offer?
There is another way. You can bow to me.
A proposal as insulting as it is laughable. You are an Archon in your infancy, unproven, untested, and unprepared for the trials of leadership.
Ashe squeezes his fists together. Submit. I have proven myself the true general, and your army is mine to command.
Yours? By what possible right? By what mad ambition do you challenge my...
The strength behind his words falters, and Ashe goes silent. His brow creases, and the severity of his expression diminishes as he looks to the soldiers around you, the countrymen he proudly marched into war. He studies them each in turn, nodding as some unspoken truth is confirmed. Look at your troops, Ashe. You are their father, but I am their commander.
I am not ignorant to the wisdom of your words. They pierce me like a lance through my heart, but there is truth. This conquest has opened old wounds. At times, I have not acted like the leader that my army deserved. I was an accomplished warlord in the earliest days of the Empire. There was no fortress I couldn't breach, no distance I couldn't march. But the years have reduced me. I care too deeply for my legion to see them suffer. I lost nearly everyone for whom I cared, and suffered for those I sought to protect. I would not wish this for anyone. I submit to your authority as Archon and Master of the Disfavored. Where you lead, I go. Where you command, I follow.
A wise choice. The disfavored will see their honor restored under my rule.
Fatebinder, you have proven yourself a truer general than I ever was. I relinquish my hold over these women and men, and place them in your keeping.
He sighs and
only that you be good to them. They are far from home, and deserve treatment and leadership befitting their noble blood.
He sighs and stands at ease.
I submit to you. As your Archon, I will obey your laws, carry out your orders, and protect whatever ways of life you see fit to impose on the tiers and beyond. You carry a heavy burden now. It is no small task to lead a legion. Their lives and their deaths are yours to bear.
He winces and sniffs back a tear.
At times, the strain was too much to bear, even for the likes of me. Devotion claims a heavy toll, and over the years it wore me down until...
He trails off, focusing on some point in the distance. Are you all right, Ashe?
Fine, fine. Ignore an old man's wandering mind. You are yet young, with the world laid out before you. Your soldiers will look to you for guidance. You must be ready to take on any challenge on their behalf. Lead by example. Lead with the iron fist of the disfavored.
I will do everything in my power to deserve this honor.
The time has come to bring glory and triumph to this conquest. Go now, and bring order to what remains of the tiers. I will stay behind with the army, training and preparing to carry out your will.
I can hardly believe it. You are the great general now. I will adore Ashe to my dying day, but I never expected to see him bend the knee. Barik nods at you with great respect. A gang of your very own to order around? That's damn impressive, even if you consider they're a bunch of ironclad northern crybabies. Give me a fortnight, and I'll whip them into shape.
I received word before you arrived. Though the other Archons are vanquished, Kairos sends another army to march on the tiers. They make for the mountain spire and chant for your blood. It seems the Overlord will not tolerate competition. What are your orders?
What would you recommend?
Nothing less than a demonstration of power will halt the Overlord's advance. I suggest you find a means of flaunting your authority that will send a clear message.
An edict on the Northern Empire should do the trick.
Upon the North itself. I like this idea not at all, but I cannot deny that it is the right course of action. Do whatever you must to repel this advance. Go now, to Vendrian's Well.
I gained the loyalty of the disfavored, and my power has increased. There is still one more thing that we need to speak about, Ashe, I believe.
Archon, you honor us with your presence, and you have brought our Barik back to us.
The honor is mine, Archon.
What returns you to Iron Hearth?
Release Barik from your Aegis.
I cannot simply draw a sigil and rescind my protection. His connection to the disfavored and to me would have to be terminated.
Then I am dismissing him from the disfavored.
Archon!
The Archon of War frowns, while white eyebrows knitting in consternation. But then the expression gives way to a knowing grin and a deep chuckle.
Always clever ones the adjudicators get. You certainly hold such authority by right.
He turns to Barik.
Your service always honored your family, yourself, and the North.
General!
Soon you may wear that title yourself, son of Barikonen. See that you strive always to remain worthy of it.
Yes, sir!
A gasp issues from Barik's helm, and as its eye slits turn to you, a pained hiss follows.
The protection! I feel it lifting!
His tone mixes awe and melancholy.
We have done what you sought, Archon. I am truly free of Graven Ashe, if such can be freedom called. Let us return to your smith.
We shall do so, immediately. Well, I would continue having your alliance here. At least this will free you from this pain and suffering, which you have suffered for so long. I believe it is in the secluded forge. Fatefinder, I didn't really expect to see you again, with everything. Lycentia wipes her palms on her filthy robes. It's Archon now. Of course, Archon. Apologies. I hear strange things out of the Blade Grave. They say you and Graven Ashe have, come to an accord? I suspect I know why you're here. She glances at Barik. Getting him out of that armor is no simple feat. It's a part of him now, fused into his muscle and skin. Anything that gets him out of it, well, it'll be akin to peeling him like a potato. The outside will come off, sure, but it's going to take some of the good stuff with it. I've given it some thought, and I have a possible solution. I don't think you're going to care for it, though. Or, who knows, maybe it'll be your kind of thing. Thoughts, Barik? Folding his arms, Barik remains silent. I wonder if the metal has already protruded into the brain. Lycentia peers up at Barik, rising to the tips of her toes. I'm listening. Without Ashe's protection, Barik stands very little chance of surviving the removal of his armor. That said, I know of a ritual to ease the process. It requires a component with as much sympathetically in common with the individual as the armor. In a word, blood. Because of the iron in it. Precisely. Very good, Fatebinder. What was the purpose of this rite? They used it for taking malformed armor off of the dead without further mangling the corpse. Only the disfavored are worthy of iron armor, and we bury our own with their arms. Then the Forge-bound must be preparing for a time when one of those no longer remains true. Go on. Unfortunately, given the connection of the alloy with the Overlord's Edict of Storms, the blood will need to come from a ruler. Royal blood. Enough to fill a tub. And what with Kairos' forces reaping the tears of their rulers, it's a component in short supply. Will Archon blood serve? Perhaps in the case of Graven Ashe or Tunon. Given that Archon blood might have any number of other unknown properties, I'd be very, very hesitant to use it. Tarkus Ari had noble blood, didn't she? If we can find her. A wise woman would have fled as far from Vendrian's well as her treacherous feet would carry her. Though were she wise, she'd never have taken up arms against the Overlord in the first place. If you can find her, and if she shares blood with the Royal House of Apex, that would work. A lot of ifs, though. What of the statue, Queen Lysarius at Edgering? How many gallons of her blood does she cry in a day? Decided to join us, Barik? He stares blankly at you. I'm well familiar with the statue. The sages wanted to pry into it, but the Vendrian Guard wouldn't let them anywhere near, save for those who fought in their ranks. Is it the bloody tears of a dead queen? A portent of the blood to be spilled in defense of Apex? Improbably mineral-rich water? Given that the waters turned red when Kairos' forces invaded, there's likely a metaphysical, if tenuous, tie to the Overlord. It should work perfectly. If you can haul a barrel of the stuff out here, I should be able to release Barik from his cage. Probably. Alright. We'll go do just that. It's in the mountain spire, but we can get there. Oh. You leave camp one morning to empty your bowels when you feel a palpable sense of power on the air. Your skin tingles, prickling into goosebumps as the hair on your arms stand on end. You go rigid, momentarily forgetting about the pressure in your lower organs, and listen carefully. Surely enough, you soon make out the crackling electric sound of wisps, some of the smallest and least consequential bane. Yet you know that wherever the wisps congregate, other larger bane are likely to lurk as well. You weigh the decision to investigate or to ignore the bane and carry on with your travels. Pursue the bane. Traveling to the old walls requires ascending a series of steep inclines. You haul yourself up, hand over hand, and find yourself on a ledge overlooking the vast expanse of the tier below you, with the aged structure of the old walls before you. You have no time to enjoy the impressive scenery, however, as the wind takes on a bitterly cold bite. You share this narrow strip of land with the swirling mystical malice of the Bane. Alright, a small distraction as we deal with a bunch of Bane, not a big deal. And there they are.
To battle!
Ah, pity! You won't
Actually,
enjoy
no,
this
you
as
should
much
be
as
using
I
the bow.
do. Count on it.
After all, your bow is good against the Bane. Actually, I have
That one rattled me hard.
Get them all, so do so, please.
Are you afraid of death? Take that! See that? I'm entirely
There's some good pain on these things. Now let's finish the last one off.
Right.
Shouldn't be too hard, it's already almost dead.
How did I miss that?
And there we go.
Right.
And they're dealt with. Now let's move on. Okay then. Hey, research edicts completed. We're definitely going to go investigate that in the library. Collect blood from the statue of Queen Lycaris. Oh, I didn't expect to find a bunch of Bane here. Well, we can kill a bunch of Bane. Hey, and we got a level up. Gladly take that level up.
You are finished!
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
Didn't really need to cast that right now, but okay. There we go.
Got it.
Alright. You have a level up? Let's see here. More points in strength. And as for talent... Don't think I'll be able to get the end of leadership. I am close to getting the last one in defense, and it would be nice to get one last thing. We'll go with Heavy Guard. Though I should have gone with Shield Bash and Shield Assault. Oh well, too late. Oh, everyone. We'll loot what we can here. Its wheels sunken into the mud, this cart stands abandoned, bereft of the rows of weapons that graced it when you first came to Vendrian's Well. Interesting that this place appears kind of abandoned now. And taken by the Bane. What happened here?
Heads
Here's
up,
more
we have
Bane.
Fall before me!
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
Oh, that one fucking hurt!
Smash to pieces!
Wait! Nice!
That'll work.
Anyone else want to tangle with this old man?
Maybe finish off that Malice. Hey, you got a level up. Nice. Almost got the Malice. Really, you didn't need to cast that.
On it.
Let's see here. Little remains of the small Scarlet Course and disfavored camps at what claimed this clearing, save tattered tarps and the reek of old latrines. Oh yes, and you leveled up, which means... let's see, you're at 2 vitality, you're at 3-6. Really? You're that low? You're extra 2 wits. Let's give some more accuracy. And you can get Blade's Embrace. Deal damage to all enemies nearby. This damage increases for each enemy engaging Barik. Boom. That'll be nice. Oop, everyone. The Vessel of Vendrian's Tears. A torrent of thick red blood pours from the hollow eyes of Queen Lycaris' stone likeness. Though out of immediate reach, you suspect you can find a way to access it. Leap the gap. With a running jump, you may be able to cross the chasm and reach the basin. Barik Toss. Command Barik to toss you to the bowl. The landing may be a bit rough. Or Barik Bridge. Have Barik bridge the gap with his body. You doubt he'll be thrilled with the suggestion. We'll leap the gap. We have the ability. Okay, we got the blood. I'm curious if there's anything else around here that we can use. I mean, we can climb up this rope.
See that?
Oh, and we found something. A gem. Sure, why not? Is there anything up here, I wonder? Probably not, but I'm going to look anyway. Oh, right, we have some loot here from the Bane we killed. There we go. Alright. Let's see if there's anything left up here. Probably not, but I'm curious. Oh, they actually cleared out the path out. Nice. Or, no. This... It was over here, I think, actually. Oh, there's something over here. Gain a wound by jumping. I don't think I was ever here before. Oh, there's something here. Another gem.
Sorry, I can't.
And nothing else. Okay. Well, we can go this way, and speed it up so we can get out of here. We have what we need. Let's get Barik out of here. Thank you for the follow. I don't think there's really going to be anything over here, but I'll take a look. I mean, there was something last time I was here, way back at the beginning of the game. The answer is no, there was nothing over here. Alright. Time to head back and get Barik there. Oh yes, and also see what we can learn about what we unlocked at the library. This episode may go a few minutes long, but I think it's fine. Right. First, quick visit to the library. RC loading screens, yada yada yada. Status of your research. The Edict of Malediction. The sages at your library combed through ancient scrolls, searching for hints of arcane knowledge. They found a ritual that may give insight into how Kairos commands powerful edicts. The information will unlock the precise wording of a previously unknown edict. Okay. The Malediction Edict is now accessible. Unfortunately, I can't see it here. Can't research another. I guess research items since you can. Now, back to the secluded forge. Let's get Barik out of here. Welcome back, Archon. I do believe I espy a barrel of Queen's blood. Lycentia looks you up and down, frowning with a mixture of interest and distaste. She helps you roll the barrel into the workshop, and the two of you dump the noisome liquid into a large copper tub. All right, Barik, into the wet. Trundling over to the basin, Barik places a hand on its lip. He flops heavily into the vat without a word and lies there, motionless. Here goes everything, Lycentia mutters, and traces a series of luminescent sigils into the air as she circles the tub. The hairs on your arms and the back of your neck slowly rise. The vat begins to bubble, and metal grinds against metal as Barik releases a prolonged hiss. The smith puts a hand into one of Barik's sharp spines and slowly draws it from him as if pulling a blade from its sheath. You barely make out Barik's pained grunt under the workshop's myriad sounds. This is just one more battle, son of Barikonen. Stand strong, soldier. You can barely perceive Barik's nod, but his shoulders square visibly. Foam-crested red liquid sluices between the gaps in Barik's armor, darkening as the grime and filth from his carapace mixes with the blood of Queen and Stone Shield alike. He shudders, his left gauntlet clamped tight over the space left by one of Lucentia's past excisions. Chanting, the smith places a chisel to the side of Barik's helm and knocks on it 3 times with a hammer. Each blow resounds more loudly than the last, and the third is accompanied with a sound like a blade slicing into armor. She places both hands on one of the metal spines crowning Barik's head and begins to pull. He screams. The procedure finally reaches its conclusion, and Lucentia slumps against the wall, hair tangled and sweat-soaked, hands and face red with gore. She releases a long, shuddering sigh as the energy in the room slowly dissipates. Clad only in his small clothes and a thick patina of blood and grime, Barik stands before you. Heavy ropes of matted hair hang before his broken face, and long, twisting scars mar his limbs and torso. He reeks of sweat and feces, the stench coalescing with the heady smell of gore and iron into a noxious hole. Your stomach turns. You okay, Barik? The pain will fade in time. Perhaps more than I am accustomed to, though. He smiles faintly.
Freedom feels raw and cold, but comfortable.
Welcome back to the life of the free, you walking pile of... I'll have to dream up some new names for you, won't I? Anyway, put some pants on. I'm tired of looking at your... everything.
Now, I can actually draft your official portrait for the Chronicle. You have no idea how much this omission has haunted me.
I hate to cut this short, but I'm dead on my feet, and there's one last thing we need to settle. Her eyes meet yours. I'm keeping the alloy we pulled off of him. In exchange, I took the liberty of forging the sample you brought me before into an axe I hope is worthy of you. She pulls a long-hafted, bearded axe from the wall and prefers it to you. Its head glimmers in the wan light of the forge. Thank you, Lucentia, for everything. It was my honor, Archon. She places the axe into your hands. It bristles with energy, a spark leaping from its curved blade. I'd wish you safe journeys if I thought it would do any good, so try to stay alive out there. Check on Barik at the mountain's spire. We will, very soon. God, he is, wow. We've also got Ashe's Favor, 5% health while his wounds every 6 seconds, and Edict's Crescent. This weapon drives the wielder's strikes forward, charging them with such power that some necessarily escapes in the form of electricity. These 3 melee strikes may inflict added lightning damage that increases with the artifact's renown. Lucentia crafted this vicious axe from the twisted iron and bronze of the blade grave. The long curve of the blade projects from her head wrought with numerous ancient sigils of destruction, evoking the arcane wrath of the Overlord's judgment against Stalwart. The mage smith also included a sigil she described as something I've been fiddling with. It probably won't kill you. And it is a 2-handed weapon. Very interesting, very powerful. And you need some armor. We don't really have much we can give you, but I'll give you what I can. I'll need to find you a helm. I'll need to buy you a helm. I know where I can buy you a helm.
Right.
And we'll do that in the next episode, because this one's gone on about long enough. Good to have you free and protected, Barik. Next episode, we'll see if we can get you well set up, and see if we can deal with the approaching army. Till then, I am Chester44, that is Jason Pendragon, Barik, Verse, and Lantry. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny, and I shall see you all next time.